The Walking Dead was once the biggest show on television. It had horror, emotion, shocking deaths, unforgettable characters, and a world that actually felt dangerous. But after season 7, something changed. The show did not just lose viewers, it lost trust. Glenn's death gets blamed for killing The Walking Dead, but that was only the beginning. Behind the scenes, there were showrunner changes, lawsuits, controversial exits, contract problems, angry actors, and creative decisions that made fans feel like the show they loved was slowly being replaced. So today, we're looking at the real reason The Walking Dead started to feel dead after season 7. Early Walking Dead worked because the zombies were not really the main point. The walkers were the pressure. The real show was about people revealing who they were when civilization disappeared. Rick waking up in the hospital felt lonely, quiet, and cinematic. Frank Darabont, the filmmaker behind The Shawshank Redemption and The Mist, developed the show for TV and directed the pilot, giving season 1 its movie-like horror atmosphere. Greg Nicotero's practical effects also made the walkers feel physical and disgusting. The world felt dirty. Abandoned roads, dead cities, sweat, blood, and people slowly becoming what they feared. The best villains were not just monsters. Shane was frightening because he was almost practical. The governor looked like civilization on the outside and rot on the inside. Terminus and Alexandria kept asking the same question. How much humanity can you keep if humanity gets you killed? That is why the show became massive. By season 5, it was appointment television, with the premiere drawing around 17.3 million viewers, and the season becoming the show's highest same-day average. The original vision kept changing, but behind the camera, the show had identity problems early. Darabont was fired during season 2. Years later, AMC settled a long-running lawsuit with Darabont and CAA for $200 million. That lawsuit did not cause season 7's decline, but it shows how messy the business side became after the original creative voice left. Then Glenn Mazzara ran the faster season 3 era, but left after season 3 over creative differences about where the story should go next. Then Scott Gimple took over from season 4 through season 8. His early run gave fans huge moments. The prison fallout, Terminus, Carol's rise, and Rick becoming dangerous. But by seasons 7 and 8, that same era became linked with cliffhangers, fake-outs, long speeches, bottle episodes, and the stretched Saviors War. So when people say season 7 felt different, part of the answer is simple. The show had already changed engines multiple times. The cliffhanger broke trust. The audience break really starts with the season 6 finale. The whole season builds toward Negan. Rick's group is on their knees, Negan swings Lucille, and the screen cuts to black before showing who died. For some people, that was suspense. For a lot of fans, it felt like manipulation, especially after the Glenn dumpster fake-out earlier that season. So by season 7, fans were not just asking, who did Negan kill? They were asking, is this show playing with us? A horror show can scare its audience, but once the audience feels tricked, the relationship changes. The premiere was huge, but brutal. The season 7 premiere was still massive, pulling around 17 million live viewers. But creatively, it was a dangerous episode. Abraham dies first. Then, just when comic readers think Glenn might survive, Glenn dies too. This was not public actor beef. Stephen Yeun did not leave because he hated the show. Glenn died because his comic death was one of the source material's biggest turning points, especially for Maggie and Negan's impact. Abraham's death was used to shock even comic readers. They expected Glenn, So the show killed Abraham first, then killed Glenn anyway. That made the episode unforgettable, but it also made the show feel cruel to some viewers. Rick was broken. Daryl was blamed. Maggie watched her husband die. The audience waited months for an answer and got emotionally punished for showing up. Season 7 was supposed to feel miserable. After that, the show keeps Rick's group broken for a long time. Rick submits to Negan. Daryl is locked in a cell listening to Easy Street. Maggie grieves. Carol is isolated. The group is scattered across Alexandria, Hilltop, the Kingdom, Oceanside, and the Sanctuary. On paper, this makes sense. Even Norman Reedus said filming the first half of Season 7 was rough, and that he told Scott Gimple the story sucked and he hated it. Gimple's response was basically, "You are supposed to." That is the Season 7 problem in one sentence. It was supposed to suck, but for many viewers, it sucked for too long. The pacing killed momentum. The next issue was pacing. The Saviors conflict takes over Season 7 and Season 8. That is 32 episodes built around one war. Early Walking Dead felt immediate. Escape Atlanta, survive the farm, clear the prison, fight the governor, escape Terminus. But the Saviors era often felt like chess pieces moving between communities. There were great moments, but the show kept stretching payoffs. Characters gave speeches instead of making choices. Episodes followed one location at a time. The tension became less about survival and more about waiting for the plot to move. The numbers show people did not all leave instantly after Glenn. The premiere was huge, but by the Season 7 finale, viewership had dropped hard, and by the Season 9 premiere, only around 6.1 million watched live. That tells you the decline was not just one death, it was the aftermath. Then came Carl. Officially, Carl dies to push Rick toward mercy, which explains why Rick eventually spares Negan instead of executing him. But fans hated it, because in the comics, Carl is the future. He is not just Rick's son, he represents what survives after Rick. Behind the scenes, it became messier when Chandler Riggs' father publicly claimed Scott Gimple fired his son before he turned 18, after allegedly making him believe he had a future on the show. That is his father's claim, not a proven conspiracy, but it became part of the backlash. Carl's death did not just feel sad, it felt like the show had cut off its own future. The show lost its anchors. After that, the emotional foundation kept disappearing. Andrew Lincoln left in Season 9. That was not confirmed beef. His reason was family. He lived in England, the show filmed in Georgia, and after years away from home, he wanted to be with his children. Understandable, but losing Rick was massive. He was the spine of the show. Lauren Cohan's Maggie also stepped away for a while. Her contract had ended, there were pay negotiations, and she booked Whiskey Cavalier. That hurt because Glenn's death was supposed to launch Maggie's next era, but then Maggie herself was reduced. Danny Gurira later left as Michonne, saying it was time to give more of herself to other parts of her artistic journey. Again, not public beef, but after Rick, Glenn, and Carl, losing Michonne was another identity hit. Then there is Tom Payne as Jesus, where there was clearer frustration. He said he was frustrated and bored with what the show gave him. In the comics, Jesus is a major fighter. On TV, fans felt he was underused, then killed as the Whisperers arrived. Not every exit was drama. Some were story, some were business, and some were personal. But together, they made the show feel like it was losing its soul. After Season 8, Gimple moved into a bigger role, overseeing the wider Walking Dead universe, while Angela Kang became showrunner for Season 9. To be fair, Kang's era brought back things fans missed: better pacing, scarier villains with the Whisperers, and more character focus. But by then, millions had already left. The show was no longer just a show. It had Fear the Walking Dead, future Rick plans, Daryl, Maggie, and Negan, and a growing universe around it. Early Walking Dead felt dangerous because anyone could die and the story could collapse. Later Walking Dead sometimes felt like characters were being moved around for future spin-offs. Once a survival story becomes a franchise, the feeling changes. So what actually killed it? So did Glenn's death kill The Walking Dead? No. Glenn's death was the explosion, but the fuse had already been burning. What made the show great was grounded horror, practical effects, moral pressure, strong characters, and the feeling that every safe place could become a graveyard. What hurt it was audience mistrust, stretched pacing, controversial deaths, major cast exits, creative turnover, business disputes, and the shift from survival drama to franchise universe. Season 7 did not kill The Walking Dead overnight. It changed the relationship between the show and the audience. Before Season 7, fans were scared their favorite character might die. After Season 7, fans started wondering if the show itself knew when to stop. And that is why one of the biggest shows on TV slowly started to feel like one of its own walkers. Still moving, still recognizable, but missing the thing that made it feel alive.